built-in Python functions and standard Python libraries and how we can use them. So now we're going to talk about function parameters. So you can pass data known as parameters into a function, and parameters act as inputs to a function. Passing parameters provides a mechanism for initializing the variables in a function. And we can call a function many times and get different results by just changing its parameters or by changing its values. A function is called by using its name followed by a list of actual parameters or more commonly arguments. So here's a formal definition. So following the name of the function and parentheses, and inside the parameter we need to supply the number of arguments. So let's see some examples. So back to our greeting function example. Now our greeting function has a parameter called name, and then the what the function will do is it will print hello, comma, name. So now calling this function, now we need to supply a name. So we need to provide with a string name, Bob, for example, and it will print hello, Bob. And calling it again with Alice, this time it's going to say hello, Alice. So please note that now since this function requires name as a parameter, calling a function with no arguments will result in error. So let's see this in the editor. So let's look back at our greeting function. So now it's going to have a parameter called name, and then we're going to say hello, comma, name. Okay, so now running this function is going to require us to have a name. Let's do the same example, Bob, and it will say hello, Bob. So parameters allow us to supply our function with different data each time we call. Now if I call this John, this time it will say hello, John. All right, so and remember this, greeting with no parameters will result in error because it says greeting missing one required positional argument name. So we failed to do that. So another example, we can say define a function called square. It takes a value x and then it prints print x times x. So let's test this one. All right, so I'm going to call the function by the name square and then a value 5. So we'll print 25. So calling this function again with another value, let's say 4, you'll print 16. So here's your turn. Define a function called double and then takes x and prints the x times 2. So double the value of x. So you can stop the video here and then go ahead and try this on your own. All right, let's do this together. So we're gonna say, we can say print x times 2, and we define the function with def. We gave a name double with a parameter x, and it prints x times 2. So let's go ahead and give this a shot as well. Okay, so double and by 5, it will print 10. So go ahead and try this yourself, and then we'll move on to our next topic.